Hi there, gang. Welcome to episode 16 of OSF TV. We've got Sierra and Danny here. We've got kind of, it's a power couple show today. This is awesome because Sierra is a wedding planner and Danny is a DJ. And they can work individually and they work together. And we've got them both here with us. They're going to have to put up with us for the entire hour. It's going to be awesome. We're going to give them a chance to talk. And of course, there we go. We've got them up on screen. Andrew and Nicole are with me at the kids' table. I think we need to put a sign. We're going to put a sign behind that. The kids' table sign.
Where's my juice box?
Last time they were arguing, so this is actually better. He's touching
Not
me.
touching you, Andrew.
Hey, glad you could join us again. We really appreciate it. Couple things that you should know about if this is the very first time you are tuning in. Well, first of all, shame on you. We have 15 other episodes filled with information, and my hair gets steadily longer as you go back.
Yeah, I mean...
I think for the first like 7 or 8 I wore a hat because I was afraid of the glare, and then finally I'm like, I give up.
That's what that is.
I know. But one of the things that we've talked about in the past couple episodes, and we're going to continue to talk about it because it is a huge deal, is our very first Our Stress-Free Wedding show. This is coming up in November. Oh my gosh, November 20th. It just keeps getting closer faster, which is exciting. We're doing things different. I mean, if you've ever been to a wedding show in the past, you kind of know what you're in for. You get a whole bunch of people that are going to say a whole bunch of nice things to you, and you're going to have to guess whether or not they're actually telling you the truth or whether or not they're just saying nice things to you because they're at the wedding show. We're eliminating or doing our best to eliminate that fear for you. And what we're doing with this is this show coming up November 20th at the Waterloo Convention Center at Sullivan Brothers Plaza, downtown Waterloo, from noon until 3 is an Our Stress-Free vendor exclusive show. So you have to be on the platform to be at the show. And the reason we do that is the same reason that we are an invite-only format for the platform. We check all of our vendors. We check their reviews. We have conversations with them. We look at their social media. We look at their website. We look at their presence out there, and we get to know their heart, and we get to know where they are and why they're doing what they're doing in this business, because that makes a giant difference for your day. There is so many wedding people out there that they do it for the paycheck. They don't care. I mean, we just had a couple in the office earlier. Not a couple. We had a mom and a daughter in the office earlier today, and their first photographer was a disaster. Like they had paid money down and then never got back to them. Didn't deliver on some of the pictures that they had promised, even early in the planning process. Right. And they ended up switching over to Nicole DM Photography, who is right here. That's what happens. And they had done the research. They were on a preferred vendor list somewhere, which means that somebody had just put their name on a link. Hey, say nice things about me. Give them the card. That's not the way we operate. There is not a single place at OurStressFreeWedding.com that somebody in the wedding industry can go sign up and have their page up and running by themselves. We don't allow it. They can apply, and you're welcome to. If you're watching the show and you're in the wedding business, you are certainly welcome to reach out. We would love to talk to you because we want to make sure that every professional that's on the platform treats your day like it's their day. And that is so huge. I mean, Andrew, you've been a DJ for, what, 8 years now? You've been with Alpha Entertainment? Yeah. You know what a difference a DJ can make at somebody's wedding. And we're going to talk with Danny about this as well. But, man, a bad DJ or, even a slightly not good one can make or break somebody's day. Yeah. Right? The equipment doesn't work. They don't show up at the right songs. They make promises they can't deliver on. They say, "Oh yeah, I got everything I need. I'm good. I'll stream it." First of all, free advice. Any DJ that tells you they can stream everything, that's technically illegal. Don't trust what they're doing. That is piracy. You can't just play music off of Spotify as a professional DJ. Not allowed. You're not paying for the licensing for that. So you have to make sure your DJ has the music, and you have to make sure they can follow up on stuff like that. That makes a giant difference. And then their personality and the timing and the pacing and all of the things that go into making your day incredible. Where if you boil it down, you really only have 3 jobs to do on your wedding day. You need to show up. This is an important one. You need to say I do at roughly the right time. If you want to mess with them, I've given this suggestion before, pause before you say I do. Just to make them sweat a little bit, right? I think that'd be kind of funny. And then the last thing is just enjoy yourself. You know, that's it. If you've got the right professionals, if you've got the right people there, you've got the right venue, photographer, DJ, caterer, florist, all the people that go along with that, then you've got nothing else to worry about. Everything is going to be amazing. And what we're doing at ourstressfreewedding.com is constantly researching wedding professionals from across the state of Iowa. We're based right here in Cedar Falls. Our goal is to make Iowa just an amazing place for people to have weddings, because all of the professionals that are on our platform are going to take care of you the way you deserve to be taken care of. And I think that's just absolutely crucial. Right?
Right.
Right.
What, the kids' table is just nodding, right?
The bobbleheads over here.
Andrew's like, whatever, Sean does all the talking anyway. Something new that we're doing is I just found out we've got a TikTok account.
The TikToks.
The TikToks.
Good old TikTok.
We've got a TikToks account. So if you want to, you should find us and follow us. There's going to be all kinds of new material coming here shortly. We've been kind of putting together some fun things that we're going to do on that. We're going to kind of show a little lighter side. Every show does not need to be preaching to you about how important your wedding is. We want you to actually smile and enjoy yourself, too.
That's what the vibe has been so far. Just like Sean's lecturing us, like the kids' table did something bad.
We're just bad kids.
Don't listen. You know, I can turn your mics off. I can just go back and nodding your heads.
Don't make him mad.
I'm gonna pull this car over.
Andrew won't get his moment. We're gonna start this show over. No, it's gonna be fun. So things to talk about is the wedding show. Registration is going to be on the website. You can just go there right now and register. ourstressfreewedding.com. It is free to our couples. We're not charging admission. We're not charging early entry. There's so many wedding shows that charge cover for couples to come in. No, that's dumb.
I thought about scalping tickets in the parking lot. Like, who needs tickets?
$10. Who wants it? No.
All
don't be that
sold
guy.
out.
No, they're lying. Come, it's going to be an amazing show. Trust me, this is going to be a lot of fun. We've got a bunch of really cool stuff planned. We're working on, like for example, something that we're going to do, which I think is going to be really cool. All of the vendors at the show are going to have a QR code, which is going to be tied to their Our Stress Free page on the platform. So if they're really busy and they don't have an opportunity to talk to you, or you're in a hurry and you kind of want to get through, you can go by, you can scan it, you can take a look at their listing right there. There's going to be information. We're going to have a little scavenger hunt built into this, so we'll give you reasons to go and visit and stuff, and there's prizes. Andrew can be your butler for the day. That could be the prize.
We'll see what happens.
I mean, when you're done selling tickets.
If they have cookies, maybe.
I think there's a lot of potential here. I'm thinking about it. It's going to be really cool. We'll have all kinds of information for you. It's something that we want to make happen for you that's going to be an amazing experience, an amazing day. And speaking of amazing experiences and amazing days, I have got 2 guests here with me, Sierra and Danny. Thank you so much for coming in.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Welcome to the show. So since we have, I've got a power couple that works together, but you have individual businesses that can work apart as well, correct? So ladies first. Danny, your job for the next few minutes is to nod and smile and agree with everything your wife says.
Yep. Good job.
Exactly. So Sierra, let's talk about you.
Okay.
Tell me about Eventful Happenings.
So I kind of got started because I was going to DJ events with Danny and saw the need for a coordinator to be there. Things can get crazy. The bride can be stressed out. I don't want that to happen. So I decided, why not start my own business? And go into coordinating and event planning.
That's awesome. So how long have you been doing that? How long have you been a coordinator?
So technically I started the business this year.
Okay.
But I've been doing events with Danny for 2 years now.
Okay.
And I've been doing planning events for, what year did we get married? 2016? Since then, I've been planning events, not weddings, but I've been helping with like my siblings' weddings.
You're the go-to person of the family,
yes,
right?
I'm the oldest of 4 siblings, and I'm the go-to organized, be here this time, that's me.
So I think, wedding planners, wedding coordinators in Iowa get kind of a bad rap because there's a lot of, and no offense to the well-intentioned aunts, but there's a lot of well-intentioned aunts out there that's like, oh, I'll take care of your wedding, and just steamrolls what the bride wants. Just it
Absolutely.
completely misses the mark, and it kind of turns into what Aunt Ina's wedding was going to be. She just gets to relive her moment. So tell me, what is some of the things that you do to help put that couples, and primarily the bride, of course, what do you do to help put their mind at ease? What's part of your process?
So specifically for the day of coordination, I meet with the bride or the couple beforehand, and we talk about how they want their day to go and any certain aspect that they want. I try my best to make sure that it can happen.
That's awesome. So when you're planning with them, you couples, and this is something that's always kind of amazed me in the wedding world, and it's really one of the reasons why we started ourstressfreewedding.com to begin with, is that when a couple first gets engaged, they suddenly, like almost overnight, are in charge of planning the biggest day of their lives. Right? And they're doing that at zero. They have no experience. They don't know what to look for. They don't know where to look. They don't know how to get started. So if I come to you, it's day one, I just got engaged. How do you help me right from the beginning? What do we talk about even from the start?
So that would be my full planning package, where I am there every single step of the way with you to do a venue site walkthrough. Do that, and then I help with the rehearsal. I help you pick the vendors. I give you my recommendations of vendors that I've worked with before. You also get a discount if you book my husband to DJ, of course.
Well, it doesn't hurt to have a little tie-in with that. So
Yes.
let's take a pause there for a second. So you help them find vendors, right?
Absolutely.
So what do you look for in a vendor to help a couple out? What are some of the qualities you look for in a DJ or photographer, or caterer, stuff like that?
Yeah, so anybody that I work with, I definitely want, the main thing is the couple. I want their day to be as stress-free as possible. So if there are vendors that I've worked with before that don't have their ducks in a row, to say, that is probably not someone that I would recommend. But I definitely have a list of people that we've worked with and that I feel comfortable. They know how the day should go, and they're answering back and forth, communicating well, stuff like that.
That's the big one.
Yes.
Communication is absolutely the key. And as the coordinator, for either day of or even your full with either one of them, communication is absolutely the key. And one of the really good things of having a wedding planner, a dedicated go-to person like yourself, is you're freeing up family members, because you'll have family members that'll volunteer for it, and the downside to that is they probably have about as much experience as you do planning the wedding, or maybe they, I did my cousin's wedding in 1964. Like, no, so by having you as a neutral party, so you're coming in with, your only focus is the couple's day. Your only focus is making sure that bride doesn't have anything to worry about. And one of the perks of that is you can be the bad guy if you have to on behalf of the bride. You're like her enforcer.
Absolutely. Yeah, what the bride wants, the bride gets, for sure.
See? Look at that. You'd think, how many times? Rule number one, that's what we call it here in our world. Rule number one, what the bride wants, the bride gets. And I'm gonna throw to your husband for a second. Danny, your job would be to say what? Yes, dear.
Yep, absolutely. Anything other, I'm in trouble. So. Yep.
Because it carries over.
Oh, it does.
It's not just
It
the wedding
does.
day.
Yep. There's some pretty bad repercussions at home. So. No, it's all good.
I think that's awesome. So you've got your full wedding package where you really walk with them through everything. So you said like you even go with you're meeting with them at the venues as they're looking for different venues. You're looking to kind of help them guide through all of that. So when you're going through a venue with a couple, what are some of the factors that you kind of look for in that particular venue that's going to help that couple? You know, you get some of those couples that, let's say there's 50 people total that's coming to the wedding. It's a smaller wedding, and they're looking at some place that holds 500. Something like that, where it's just giant place. What do you kind of look for to help guide that couple along in the venue side of stuff?
Yeah, definitely having the appropriate amount of space is a big bonus, and kind of just walking them through how they want everything to be set up and making sure that their day can be how they want it to be at that venue.
Awesome. I think that makes a giant difference. Can you guys do me a favor? Bring that microphone just a little bit closer to you. You can just kind of pull it in. There you go. That way I can ease back on the volume a little bit and we can get a little bit of a cleaner signal. Beautiful. Wonderful. Does that sound better? Excellent. Thank you. So as you kind of go through that process, brides really don't have any idea as to order of events and how they're going to how things are going to happen or when things are going to happen. So do you have like a set number of meetings, or do you meet with them kind of at need? If something pops into her mind, can she just reach out, text you, hit you up, message you one way or the other? Or how available are you to couples?
Absolutely. So I say that I am there every single step of the way, and I truly mean that. I have a bride that is one of my good friends. So she messages me all hours of the day, and I am there for her. And then I also have another bride right now that reaches out whenever she has something in her mind, and I get back to her as soon as possible.
Absolutely. And I think that's so important. For you, for all of us in the wedding business, it can be kind of routine because you know what's coming.
Yes.
Because you work in the industry. So what's coming. But for that bride, that's new information. It's a new thought. And if it's a thought that's in her mind, it needs to be answered immediately because that, to her in that moment at that time, that's the priority. And so being able to reach out and contact you at need, I think is huge, because there are some out there, and these are the ones that you have to look out for, that say, okay, we'll have our initial meeting, and then we have a meeting in 3 months, and then we have a meeting in 3 months, and then we have a meeting 2 weeks before your wedding, and that's it. If you are the wedding planner, if you are the coordinator, if you are the one that's the go-to person, I don't think you can have 3 rigid meetings and you're out,
Right. Yeah, definitely not a 3 strikes, you're out.
No.
I'm there whenever you need me.
I love that. And I was looking over like some of the stuff that you offer in the packages. Like you've got your emergency bridal kit.
Oh yes,
So
I have a whole bag.
Talk to me
of
about the
stuff.
bridal kit. What is in the emergency bag?
Oh, there's so many things. It is packed full. I have deodorant, toothpicks, body spray, safety pins. At our last wedding, the groom was missing his boutonniere, so I was able to save the day with that one.
you had a spare boutonniere?
Yeah, it was actually Danny's from my brother's wedding. And thankfully it matched color-wise to her flowers, and he was able to use it. There's tons of things. Anything that you could need. Stain removal stuff. Mints. Mints was a big one at our last wedding. Everybody wanted a mint. Snacks.
Yes. Yeah. I've seen so many brides, they get so nervous and so caught up in the moment that they forget to eat.
Absolutely. That was me on our wedding.
Really?
I didn't eat.
Oh my gosh. I had one time and she passed out, and it wasn't because she was drinking. She hadn't had a drop to drink, but she was so dehydrated and had not eaten anything all day that she passed out, and she was out for like 45 minutes. Oh, no. Just sound asleep, like just crash, because she didn't have anything left to give. So it's important as you are going through this, eat.
Yes,
it's okay.
For sure. Yep. So I am there to make sure that the day runs smoothly, of course, and I'm also there for the couple and the bridal party and their immediate family. I know at our last wedding, I was actually the one that ran the kids out to the car because they wanted to change their shoes. So I turned into babysitter there for a little bit. So lots of different roles throughout the day.
But that's the key. You are that go-to person. You're the person that's outside of the wedding, but you're there to help facilitate all of that. So by doing that, you're allowing the family and the friends and the couple to enjoy that moment, and you can take the kids off to the side, if need be, because that's what you're there for. That's what a good coordinator or planner does, is that you are just you are the bride's right hand. You are the person that is there to make sure things get done and get done right away. And I think that's huge. That speaks to who you are and why you're on the platform with us, is because you go that extra distance to make that happen for couples. So you also do day of coordination.
Yes.
So what is the difference between the two? I mean, it's kind of an obvious question, I know, but just to kind of help explain things, what is the difference between the two?
So day of coordination would be you already have all of your vendors picked, you have your decor done, everything is ready to go. You just want someone to make sure the day goes smoothly, that you don't have to worry about any of the stressful things that could come up, or like your cake falls over, the top 2 tiers of the cake fell over. Our bride did not know at all.
Ignorance is bliss when it comes to the couples.
Absolutely. Yep. And you just want someone that is going to take all of that stress off of you. And I also help with gifts at the end of the night. I will pack up all of your gifts for you. You don't need to worry about it. I help tear down the decor so that you can stay on the dance floor and enjoy the night. So definitely day of coordinator is someone that is very important.
Absolutely. And you're giving couples the two options like that. So you have a couple that starts out at absolutely zero. They don't know where to turn. They don't know where to look. They don't know what vendors to look for. They don't know where to go with anything. And of course, as a good coordinator, you send them to ourstressfreewedding.com, and that can be a go-to source for you as well.
Absolutely.
Naturally.
Of course.
Knowing that the door's locked and you can't escape, and you have to agree with me. So
I would agree anyways.
Did I say that in a menacing enough way? You will say nice things about us. No, I'm kidding, but that's important. And then working with couples, and again, and I don't think a lot of couples realize this, is that you can have all of your vendors lined up. They can have their venue, they can have their cake, they can have their DJ, they can have their photographer, they can have everything in place, and it's still great to have someone like you there, even when all of that's done, because once again, you're that central communication point. And if a DJ or a photographer or a caterer, whomever it is, if we know that there is a go-to person, then we don't have to bother the bride, which is a great buffer, because that way she can actually enjoy herself. And you guys have been doing this long enough. You've met enough couples who literally miss their wedding, right? They get so caught up in the little details, in the stressful moments, in just, I had a bride one time, she was so nervous about everything. I was getting them lined up for the grand entrance. She hadn't even gotten into the ballroom yet, and she was super nervous and freaking out about toasts. Like, we haven't even got to the grand entrance yet. Hold on, deep breath. And we get them inside. That all went perfectly fine, and they're up at the table, and so we haven't gotten to toast yet. But now she's really, really nervous about first dances and when that's going to happen. And finally, I'm like, put your phone down. Hold on. I got you. Don't worry about it. And having someone in your position where you can kind of be that go-to person, where you can tell the DJ, okay, here's what's coming up next. Bride is aware that in the next 15 minutes we're doing first dances, or whatever this is happening, because you've had that communication with them in advance, so there's no surprises. They know what's coming. They know when it's coming, and it makes things that much easier for them. Correct?
Absolutely.
I love it. So what's your favorite part? What do you love doing about all of this?
Oh my gosh, there's so many things that I love. I'm the type of person that likes to know all of the details for the whole day, like whether we're doing a wedding or we're doing something for our family. I'm the one that likes to plan everything, know everything. And I think just meeting with the bride that one-on-one time and getting to know them and how she wants her day to go, and then seeing that come through at the end of the day is so great.
I think that's awesome, because it is. You have made such an impact on that day. You know, it's like we were talking, it was before the show, right? When we were talking about, you know, how bad a DJ or a photographer or whomever it is can be. You can make or break a wedding, and a bad coordinator or a bad planner can do the same thing. So, you know, by helping them through every step of the process, I think that would be probably the most rewarding part. Is at the end of the day, you can sit back and go, they had a perfect day. They had nothing to worry about. They loved it. They had a blast. And I think that is absolutely wonderful. That's a testament to what you're doing and why you're doing it. I think that's great. So, you know, basic stuff. How big of an area do you cover? How far do you have like a limited travel area? Or are you willing to go pretty much wherever they're at? You know, where someone's willing to pay? Are you willing to go there?
I mean, yeah, if someone's willing to pay, I'll happily go there. I think around 3.5, 4 hours has been kind of what we've done, but if there's somebody farther, absolutely.
That is fantastic. So if we want to switch over to the web page for a second, Andrew, we have got her page up and running, and all of the details, everything that we've talked about is right here, ourstressfreewedding.com. All you got to do is go to Your Wedding Professionals, go down to the bottom. That's where our wedding planners are. You can do that through the search, and that's where we've got all of their information right here. You can see all of her packages. You can see all of her information. Of course, you can reach out and you can contact her. If you are on the platform, if you are a registered couple, and again, that is free, if you register on the platform, that also gives you access to our communication hub. And I know we've mentioned this before, but you know, if this is their first time watching, we're just going to pretend. The neat thing about the communication hub is that if something pops into your mind and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you can't sleep because you're suddenly thinking, oh, boutonnieres, right? You can reach a message through the planning system to your vendors, to your coordinator. And the neat thing is that if your DJ, your photographer, your venue, and your caterer are all through the platform as well, everybody can communicate with everybody. So this way, if the bride reaches out to you as kind of the central point of contact, you can reach out to any of the other vendors on Our Stress Free that are part of that wedding day and let them know, hey, I'm the person you need to talk to for this particular bride's day. Puts everybody on the same page right off the bat. Makes your job a little bit easier, puts the bride's mind at ease because she knows you're taking care of that, and she knows that through the communication hub, all of the key vendors are being contacted. So all of this is designed to help that peace of mind for your big day. It makes things just that much more stress-free.
That is really such a great feature to have.
Thank you, thank you. We like it, and it's just we got. Oh man, there's so many more things. I know I joke about it, but it's honestly not a joke because I know like. My development team, they see an email pop up from me. I know they cringe. I know they do. And I know they watch the show, and I'm sorry. But it's like, oh, I got another idea. Sean, let's do this first. I'm like, oh, I got another idea. I'm like, no, I'll just keep adding stuff to it. It's like Legos. I just keep building. Well, is there anything else that you want to share? Anything that popped into mind during our conversation?
I don't think so.
All right, so I'm going to come back to you. I've got a question here at the end that we're going to come back to, but we're at about midway through the show, and this is a very important part. Now, you had mentioned you've watched a couple of other episodes that we've done. This is a crucial part of the OSF TV show. This is probably the biggest part outside of the fact that there's cameras which records the show. That's how important this part is, and that part, ladies and gentlemen, is Andrew at the kids' table. Andrew? If someone likes the show, what should they do?
Click that like button, smash that subscribe button, and say nice things in the comment section below.
You changed it up.
A little bit.
We're keeping you on your toes, Sean.
I like it. I like it. No, that's good. And it's true. You should click the little button. It's down in the lower right-hand corner. I'm not sure where that would be on the screen. Just look for the little red button on the screen. Like and subscribe. Follow the show. We have so many really cool things.
This is on. It's over there.
So, yeah. So we're right there. So it would be just a little bit off Nicole's left elbow. So right where that button is, yep, that's where.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
If not, right below it, just click subscribe. Trust us. And one of the things, especially you're going to want to do, one of the things you're going to want to subscribe with is that we've got kind of a rhythm for shows of every other week a new one premieres, so you know that rhythm. What you won't know and what you could potentially miss is some of the stuff that's coming up, especially with the wedding show that's coming up. We're going to have some informational stuff on that, which will be exclusive on the show. We've got a show coming up that's going to be off schedule as well, with just the three of us, where we're going to sit down on and talk about the process of what we really do kind of behind the scenes, what goes into building one of the vendor pages. And Andrew has just been amazing at coming up with some techniques and some stuff. I mean, he talks to any of us and we're all like, cool, and none of us know what he's talking about.
Go back to
None at all.
Go back to the page.
Go back.
I did that. I
looks
did
great.
that.
He did. See, but but he did there is a you can scroll through, you can go through the directory. I mean, he did all of this stuff, and that's all built in. It comes as a blank slate when a vendor first comes on. One of the things that we do for our vendors that Wedding Wire or The Knot or what's that other one? Zolo, Zaro.
Zola.
Zola, that one?
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Zoltan.
Something that they do is they limit your information. We do not. You can put as much as you want. If you don't have an existing website yet, and in fact, you did that on your listing. I noticed
Right.
on your
We did
Facebook
not
page.
have a website set up yet.
Right. So you're able to use your listing in ourstressfreewedding.com as your website. And we build it that way on purpose. We want you, if you're looking for vendors, we want you to be as absolutely informed as possible, even before you talk to them. So by putting this information there, because trust me, go to Wedding Wire, go to The Knot. If you're a vendor, you know this, you get what? 2 paragraphs? I think it's characters. You get only so many characters in your listing, right? It's like 2,500 characters. Well, it sounds like a big number until you start typing.
Right.
Ultra Entertainment's been in 30 years in business, and we we DJ.
I'll write you a novel if you want me to. Well, I'll copy and paste it. I ain't typing that much.
You send them the
Just let
information.
Andrew type out everything. Do some predictive
T.
text. I think that'd be great.
H.
Did you see?
E.
Sorry, I'm going off topic. Did you see that thing where somebody made a dating profile, like a computer automated dating profile, where they just started? Or no, they went into Google, and they would type a word, and then let Google fill it out.
No, for a dating profile.
For a dating profile, it was awesome.
So if you trust Andrew a lot. But so let's talk about that for just a second, because this is something we have not had a chance to really talk to any guest about, is building out your page. How was that experience for you when you came on board with us? We got your account set up. Nicole got you all set up and ready to go. She is our research goddess for that, and she's really good at what she does. Gets everything in place and set up. So how was your experience from that point forward?
So building a website is something that I had been thinking about since we started his DJ business, but it wasn't something that I wanted to explore doing myself. So it was great having Andrew be able to do that for me and change anything that I asked him to change, and it was super easy.
That is awesome. So, all of the images, all of the pictures, everything was, you sent us, what pictures you want for your site. You're able to upload those on your listing. You have full control and say over how your page is built. Of course, there's always a few limitations. I know I'm going to say this, and Andrew's like,
They want what? Not a miracle worker.
Some limitations, but I'll tell you what. I mean, you are really, really good at doing this. And
Thank you.
As a wedding professional, if you are trying to get your name out more, if you are trying to get that information out further, this is something that ourstressfreewedding.com can do for you. And if you have an existing website, even better. Because what you can do is you can put a badge from ourstressfreewedding.com on your website, which is going to link everything back together. And just if you're not aware of how the Google's likes to work, Google likes to see connections. They like to see everything in a circular way, which puts everything together. So if we're going to obviously have your website on the platform as part of ways to contact you. We've got your Facebook information, for example, on your listing. So if somebody wants to just jump over to Facebook, they can do that right there and go. Oops, let me click on it. They can go right to your page from there as well. So it goes right on, loads on a separate window, so you can take a look at that too. If you had a website, of your own, you could do that too, or and Instagram and all of the other stuff. All of those are there together, and we do that because. Oops, I did that again to Andrew, didn't I? Yep. Hold on, let me switch it back to here, and then let me move the mouse off there for you. Sorry, I will learn how to do this Sunday.
Am I where I need to be?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I trust you. I just know I had the mouse in the wrong place. But what we do with your listing is we build that connection, and your page, every page that's on there, every vendor page that's on there is indexed by the search engines. So what happens is over time, as people use that, and especially since you've got it linked to your business account on your Facebook page, that will drive traffic back and forth.
Right.
And Google loves to see that kind of connection. And what happens over time is organic search results, which means you get moved up in Google's search without you having to pay for it. Now, it doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen, and you can track that as you go, and it does make a difference. Google's expensive. So having that organic connection is great, and if you take it a step further, if you've got your own standalone website, you put the badge for Our Stress Free Wedding on your site, that's going to tie everything back together again, which will bring up your website and your listing. And what we try to do with your listing, if you have a website, is we try to kind of mirror that experience for couples. We want them to have that safe feeling. We want them to know that where they're getting their information makes them comfortable on any platform, on any level, because I think that makes a huge difference as to how your state of mind goes when you're planning your big day. If you go to a website and it looks this way, and then you go to your listing in Our Stress Free and it's cold and clinical like the Knot or Wedding Wires is, you're not going to get that same peace of mind. You're not going to get that experience. It's going to look like an ad. Right. I mean, it really, and that's what, if you're watching this and you're in the wedding industry and you list with them right now, your listing looks clinical. It does. It's cold. You get 8 pictures, which photographers I'm sure just love. You guys only take 5 pictures of the wedding. What's that?
Like the old MySpace, they used to
The top 8 friends.
limit how many photos you could have, and everyone's profile looked the same.
I don't remember them limiting.
I think I'm older than you are.
Are you?
Why am I at the kids' table?
So just so you guys know, we're building a studio. This is one of the reasons why we're building a studio, because the kids' table doesn't play. We're gonna do separate tables for everybody.
Good.
Everybody gets their own little kingdom. It's gonna be awesome. Actually, I have no idea. I just want it all in my office. That's all I want. That's really all I want. So anyway, let's get back to the show. So we covered like and subscribe. That's important. We covered at the top of the show. Find us on TikTok. There is going to be some fun stuff coming with that. And again, the reason for subscribing is not so much for the regular shows that come out, because you know the schedule. Every other week we push it on our Facebook page, we push it on social media, we push it out there. But we're going to have some shows that are dedicated to, like the wedding show, for example, and dedicated to planning techniques, and dedicated to just some of the features that are on the platform, just kind of how-to things and stuff like that. Those are things that will probably not be scheduled in our regular premiere rotation. So if you subscribe to the channel, you're going to find new content on there, and I think that's going to make a big difference in helping keep you as absolutely well informed as possible. So as soon as you guys leave today, like and subscribe.
I already do.
I love it.
They can also turn on notifications too.
Ooh.
I'm throwing a bunch of stuff at you.
You are a well of information. Your mom is going to send me a happy email today.
Probably.
She hasn't. I keep waiting. She hasn't emailed me yet. I'm waiting. I'm gonna get one of these days.
You realize how this sounds, right?
What?
My mom's gonna get a hold of it. Never mind.
Your mom is wonderful. She is I'm gonna tell. That's what I'm waiting for.
Okay.
Sean say, Andrew won't let me talk. All right, so you are watching episode 16. We have got a power couple here with us. It's Sierra and Danny. Sierra is the owner of Eventful Happenings, and we just spent a wonderful half hour talking about how important it is to have a wedding coordinator, or even a day of coordinator. She's got a full package where she can walk with you for finding the venues, finding the vendors, putting everything together. She is your go-to person for your day, so it gets rid of the stress of you having to make every single decision, and everybody's going to come to you with everything. Instead, they can go to someone like Sierra, and she will take care of all of that. And one of the things that she would take care of would be the DJ. And by coincidence, she is married to a DJ. Danny, how you doing, my friend?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm wonderful. So let's move the mic a little bit closer here.
It's my turn now.
It's your turn.
Been waiting all day for this. I woke up at like 3 o'clock this morning. I'm like, hey, today's the day I get to be on camera. I'm excited. Let's do this.
I see you did your hair as well as I did.
I did. I tried to put a little gel in there. It just wasn't sticking today. Humidity level is just crazy.
So you at least look like you can still grow yours out. Mine gave up. No.
No.
Yeah, just
Sarah's like,
he shaves it.
no.
yeah, I know. It just comes in patches.
Here's how pathetic I am. I will let it grow just a little bit and then use shampoo.
Oh, yeah.
Like, damn it, I'm still just I want to use shampoo. I miss it.
Yep. Nope. Me before every wedding, of course, I try and look the best I can.
Well, of course.
You know, not that I come out of the woods or anything. Plus, also superstitions too, because we also race as well. As I gotta cut my hair the night before a race too.
Oh, no, wait a minute. What are you
mean-
racing? So let's go off topic for a minute. What do you race?
I race the sport compacts or front wheel drives.
Like dirt track, hard track?
Dirt track. Yep. I haven't raced up here in Independence yet, but I race in Vinton, down in Brooklyn, over in Marshalltown. So just kind of wherever we can go. wherever
Really?
The wind will blow us. So yeah.
I've been in a car before too, actually.
Yep. The Sierra races, and then our oldest races in the junior front wheel drive class as well. So
That's awesome.
it's kind
It's
of
a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. So years ago, I did morning radio actually in Independence.
Oh yeah.
And, big celebrity in the city of Independence in the late 90s. So I'm the morning guy, and they invited me to be a guest announcer at a few of the dirt track races. I know nothing about races. Nothing at all. Like NASCAR. All I know is they go really fast, and every quarter mile or so they turn to the left.
Yep.
That's all I know about racing. So they put me up in the box, and I'm broadcasting, and of course, I'm sitting next to the guy who actually knows racing, and he's talking about the drivers, and talking about the cars, and talking about techniques, and talking about the engines, and talking about all this, and I'm like, "There's dirt in my beer." That was my only concern. I was just a happy guy, but it was so cool. How long have you been doing that?
Well, this will be year 6, I think.
Since we got married,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. This will be year 6.
You just wake up one day and you're like, you know what? I want to race cars.
Pretty much.
We used our wedding money
Yep.
to buy a race car.
Yep. I know it's pretty sad, but
That's not sad. I think that's cool.
we both enjoy the car. Just long story short, actually, my family's been involved with racing. I'm a 3rd generation racer. My grandfather used to race at Hawkeye Downs in Cedar Rapids, so it's kind of in the blood. And one day, my blood's like, "Hey, let's go
time.
get some RPMs, baby." So I was like, "Let's do it."
So on a dirt track, it's still oval.
Yep.
Right. How many cars race at once?
Average night, probably about 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you won yet?
Yeah, I did last year. We got our first feature win last year.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks. So we have numerous heat race wins and a couple of B main wins as well.
So how fast do you go?
Fast enough to hopefully try and win. I mean, we don't really have a speedometer inside of our car, so we
Right.
just kind of go off of just RPMs and just kind of whatever the track is going to give us and how fast we can run. So, yeah.
I'm talking about speed. So off subject too, because I'm an idiot. My in-laws are from Dubuque.
Yep.
And so they were, river rats for years. Always had a boat, always had a jet ski, always had the whole thing. So years ago, my in-laws had bought a new jet ski, a big 3-person watercraft. I guess it's not even a jet ski anymore. And I don't know much about them. I grew up in Minnesota. I used to water ski all the time. And I thought, oh, jet ski, water, I'll be fine. So, I'm on it. My wife's sitting behind me. And I'm thinking, wow, we're just flying. And it felt like we're going like 1,000,000 miles an hour. And this one had a speedometer. And I looked down at it. 12. We're going 12 miles an hour.
It feels fast.
It can go up to 60. I'm going 12. Like, speed it up. Then we crashed. But it was a lot of fun. All right, so let's talk about CzechMix Cool DJ Tunes. I've been dying to ask you this since you guys came on the platform. CzechMix.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Actually comes from like my heritage. I'm half Czech, like quarter African, quarter native, and Sierra's got a little bit of Czech in her too. So I was like, why not come up with something unique that kind of expresses where we came from?
I like
so
that.
It was CzechMix. Yep.
I like see, but that's important. You know, there's a story behind the name. You know, it's like I'm not a tattoo guy, but you talk to anybody with a tattoo, they've got the story and the reason behind why they've got that tattoo, the reason behind the name.
Yep.
I think that's very cool. I love that. How'd you get started? How'd you get into DJing?
Well, I mean, it would have been a couple of years ago. I think it was like a event or something. You know, everybody's like, "Hey, Danny, you know music because you've been around music. Why don't you play some tunes for us?" So I think it was just like a family event, and I just started playing some music. And every time when we have a party or get together, I'm always the guy that they're like, "Hey, find us something on the old music box." So I was like, "Okay." It was last year. I got invited to do our first event. This is kind of a wicked story because I'm like unprepared for it. I was like, "Oh, what do I do?" I just had just a set of like house speakers with just a receiver, and they're like, "Hey, can you come MC an event for us?" I was like, "Sure." And they're like, "Well, there's gonna be an after party too, so can you DJ that?" So that's kind of where it kind of took off, and I just really enjoyed it. I guess the other inspiration would have been Sierra's brother. Well, I guess my brother-in-law also was having a wedding in October. I'm like, well, if we're going to DJ that, I might as well get some weddings under my belt. And just kind of snowballed from there. So that's kind of how we started.
Just kind of fell into it.
Yeah.
Which I think is awesome. You know, I get that because it's kind of, like in college, my start was we were at a bar called Hooligans in Eau Claire, and on Tuesday night they had turtle racing. The bar owner had 6 little box turtles, and he would put down 2 plywood sheets in the middle of the dance floor, and it had little buildings like you like for model railroad kind of things. So he had a little town built in, and you'd put the turtles in the middle of the town, and then you would bet Hooligans bucks, win, place, or show which one would get out of town first, right? And there was an MC. I don't remember the MC's name, but me and my buddies, we were regulars, and believe it or not, I'm loud. And when there's alcohol involved, and in my early 20s, I was loud and awesome. Well, one day the MC doesn't show up, and we knew the owner of the bar. Yeah. So the owner of our guy named Terry's like, "Morrissey, you're loud. You do this." And he used a little bit more colorful phrasing, but hands me the microphone. I'm like, "Okay, I'm MCing turtle racing." Got into DJing, kind of fell into everything else. Found out I liked it, found out I enjoyed it, and kind of grew into it. So I like stories like that. You started out as just, sure, I can help out, and find out you're actually pretty good at it. And so what kept you going? What kind of kept you in the business from that point? You kind of started out with just the, kind of helping out on the family level. What made you think, what, I could make a little extra money doing this. I can help people out.
Well, kind of the opposite of that is like I didn't really see it as like a money opportunity as more as it was an opportunity to help a couple or somebody else like for like their wedding. I had still been a part of like some Iowa vendor page on Facebook, and it just disheartened me like as far as like everybody's like looking for a DJ and the amount of money that they had to spend, and I was like, well, let me be that other guy that can help out people. And I just get gratification from just helping people just in general, whether it's like an event or just wedding or even just kind of referencing a few other people. It's just, it's a good feeling in your belly and deep inside your heart when you're able to help somebody else smile bigger than what you can smile. So that's kind of why I stay in it.
Great way to put that. Yes, and that it makes such a difference. Like we had talked earlier, is that there's especially well, not especially, but with DJs, it's very easy to, well, I've got all this music and I've got all these speakers, I'm just going to show up and I'm a DJ. And then they make it all about themselves. It's they play their music or whatever they like, and it becomes a look at me kind of thing, where you're going at it as, hey, I'm able to help make somebody's day amazing and put that smile on their face. Is that an accurate?
Absolutely.
I think that is awesome. And I know, and like you had mentioned with pricing, there's a wide spectrum of prices when it comes to DJs. Yep. And I've noticed that your pricing is very, very reasonable. And it's one of the things that couples need to understand is that the more you pay does not mean the better the DJ. You know, that is not accurate. The more you pay, you still need to know their heart. You still need to know their why, you know, why they do what they do. And you articulating that by saying that, you know, you're there to help make that couple's day incredible, you know, to really do it from the heart makes a giant difference. You know, at that point, the financial side of it is almost out of the equation. So, you know, looking at, again, ourstressfreewedding.com, if you go to the DJ section, you're going to see a wide variety of DJs on there. And we do that by design, you know, and there is a wide price range of DJs that are on the platform. But, you know, whether it's, you know, on one end of the scale or the other, you're going to find that level of quality that Danny is talking about. And I think that's awesome. You know, I think that makes a huge difference. So, you know, what do you think is something that sets you apart from other DJs?
Oh. I was having this conflict for the past like 3 days after I saw the transcript. I'm like, man, what sets me apart? I think other than the namesake, I think it's kind of a unique name. We actually had booked a wedding off of our name because I was like, hey, check us out at CzechMix's Cool Tunes.
There you go. That's a t-shirt for you. Yeah.
And they're like, hey, I like that you guys are kind of punny, so we want to hire you guys as opposed to going to these other guys that are in our area. I was like, sure. I think the other thing that kind of sets us apart from other DJs, perhaps, I wish I had more to expand on it because we've only been in business for a couple of years, is that when we do meet with our clients and everything else, like I don't treat them as clients. Like I don't see dollar signs. I see good friends and best friends, like future best friends and everything else. I mean, a lot of those guys still contact us and ask us how we're doing and everything else. So it's just being able to build that relationship without involving the other aspect of business, getting to know the people. I think that's what kind of drives us and separates us a little bit.
I think that's a huge thing, though, because it can be very easy to become very mechanical. Yep. You know, from the business side of stuff. You know, I've got the same mindset as you. I can spend all day talking to brides. I love the excitement. I love the, oh my God, I'm getting married, you know, and just that I just feed off that energy. And it's even before you get to the wedding itself. This is just in conversations with them, you know, over Zoom or over phone or, you know, at the office, whatever it is. It's just finding that energy and tapping into that energy and building with that and building that relationship with them, I think is huge. And, you know, you think of the impact that, especially, in my opinion, especially the DJ.
Yep.
You know, I mean, people can use the exact same sentence in two different ways. You know, if you figure, you know, a couple at their 10-year anniversary, their 20-year anniversary, it actually doesn't matter. Pick the number. I've run into couples whose weddings I did 30 years ago. We're actually doing their daughter's wedding. This is my second generation wedding coming up this summer. I feel a little old. But, you know, the sentence is this, you know, oh my gosh, I can't believe I had Danny from CzechMix Cool DJs as my DJ, right? And they're excited about that. Or 10 years from now, it can be, oh my gosh, I can't believe we had Danny from CzechMix Cool DJ as our DJ. It's the exact same sentence, but a totally different connotation. And as the DJ, you have the control as to how they're going to remember that moment, you know, and build that into their night to make it that amazing moment. And they will remember you for the rest of their lives together. You do have that kind of impact on them. And it's so much more than just, you know, hit play.
Yep.
Play the song. Yeah. So tell me, you know, when you're talking with couples, how does that work? You know, we talked a little bit about like the connection you have with them, which is awesome. So when somebody comes to you, what do you do to kind of help them put it in their minds, kind of, you know, order of events, how things are going to happen, what the DJ is going to do, what the expectations are, stuff like that. What's kind of your process in working with them?
Process, of course. They message us on Facebook, you know. It's like, hey, how's it going? I see you're interested in our business. And I'll just go on about like, hey, I'm kind of like the other kind of DJ as far as like pricing goes. Just to let you guys know up front that, you know, I'm more worried about what you guys want as opposed to what I want. What I want at the end of the night is you guys to smile. I don't care about anything else. And then, you know, if they book us, you know, we're more interested. We're like, hey, well, we do have a contract. We have a couple of sheets of stuff that we kind of walk through, you know, I'll ask questions as far as like, okay, so where's kind of like the venue? Did you guys have a venue picked out? Are you guys looking for anything extra rather than DJ stuff? And that's when I'll reference them back to Sierra and her business, to where if they need like a day of coordinator or planner or whatever.
How
else.
convenient.
Yeah, I know, right? And then just kind of from there, I just kind of ask them like, hey, what kind of music are you guys interested in? Or is there anything different from like the traditional layout that you guys are interested in? I will kind of give them a couple ideas as far as stuff that we've done at other weddings, kind of some trends, kind of get like the juices flowing as far as what they want for their day, not what I want for their day for them. If that makes sense.
That makes 100% sense.
So
That is exactly right.
Give them the flexibility as far as making like their own schedule. Then we adapt to that. So
Right.
that's kind of how we do that.
And that, you know, that's so important. You know, it's like the mom and bride that I met with today. Poor mom. I mean, she was all about timeline. And finally I told her, I'm like, okay, here's my favorite word for weddings, and you use it at the beginning stages when you're first kind of planning, you know, a year out, and you're still trying to figure out guest count and times and stuff like that, and then you use it again on the day of your wedding. And this word has magical powers. It's ish, I-S-H, ish. And if you put ish after that, it takes that stress off your shoulders. You're like, oh, we got to do toast at 7:15, ish. Because if at 7:15 you're talking to your great-great-great-grandfather, he's 115 years old, hasn't seen you since you were 3, the last thing we're going to do is step up and go, toast, you know, and pull you away from that moment. So, ish, you know, make it about their day. And you had mentioned, you know, flexibility, having that flexibility. And is that something that you carry over then into the day of itself? You know, are you know, if they throw, you know, something last minute at you, pivot and go, or are you, well, you know, that's not what you told me last week?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, there's been a couple weddings that definitely stick out in my mind. There's one that we did up in Minnesota that they wanted to switch up a few things. It was a traditional Laotian or Asian wedding, and they were like, hey, we need to incorporate this song. So I was like, okay, well, let me look it up real quick, download it. You guys are all good there. And then the other one was a wedding a couple of weeks ago, I think. Of course, as you know, like not everything goes according to plan as far as like, hey, food's ready, this is done. So it's just understanding the time frames, calming down the bride, be like, hey, the food's still 15 minutes out. I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple things here. Or once you start going in the program where it's like, hey, everybody's starting to leave, let's go ahead and move up a few items as far as like, you know, if they wanted a cake cutting or a dollar dance, to get that stuff done before like their guests had left.
Sure.
Primarily, you know, it's the elders that kind of like leave a little bit earlier, so
Right.
you want to make sure that they get to enjoy the day as well,
Right.
and share it with the bride and groom. So, yeah, we're just pretty flexible as far as time schedules and everything else. So it's like things don't go according to plan. We just have to kind of take a step back for a second and then reassess.
I'm telling you, ish, it's the magic word. We're gonna make we're gonna make Iowa just use the term wedding-ish.
Yep.
You know, and I was looking at, I just pulled a few of the reviews that you've got. You know, one of them, they were awesome. So there was a couple that worked with both of you. You know, led the way for us and took so much stress away from our big day blend of current, younger, and throwbacks for us. So you played a little bit of everything for everybody. You know, and that's another trap that a lot of DJs fall into, is that they end up catering just to their dance floor. You know, if you're playing, pick a genre, you know, you're playing club and you've got 50 people out on the dance floor out of, say, 200 guests. That's a full dance floor. So the trap that DJs can fall into is, ooh, I'm kicking ass, I got a full dance floor. So they keep playing that same style of music, and those 50 people, they may have a blast, but there's 150 other guests wondering when you're going to play oldies, country, 90, you know, anything other than that particular style of music. So, you know, when someone actually takes the time to write in that you play a great blend of music for that, I think speaks again to your ability to read not only your dance floor, but read your crowd as a whole for what they're looking for. Would that be safe to say?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things I'm always doing, is trying to be observant of who's all coming in through the doors. you know, you don't like to stereotype people, but if you kind of look at them, you can guess, oh, hey, Kay, she's a little bit older. I bet you she'd probably like some Joan Jett or something. Or, you know, there's younger couples who are like, okay, well, I'll play some today's hit music, just to kind of keep everybody moving. If
Right.
everybody's wiggling, I'm happy. So,
So for those of you that are 20-something years old, Joan Jett was a big star in the 80s. Google I Love Rock and Roll.
Yep.
She wore leather pants. There's Joan Jett.
Our son was listening to that the other day, actually.
yeah.
So
That's
he knows
awesome.
it.
You know, but it's songs like that, like I call them multi-generational songs.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like my favorite example, and I say this every day when I'm talking to couples, my favorite example of a multi-generational song is Pretty Woman by Roy Orbison.
Yep.
Right? In 33 years of doing this for a living, and this is the absolute truth, I have never met anybody who doesn't know that song. And now, talking to your average bride, that song is 3 times their age. I mean, that song was out when my mommy was younger. She can remember when Roy Orbison, who sang that song, was the new guy on the radio.
Yep.
You know, I mean, that song's been around, but people know it. You know, it's those multi-generational songs. I Love Rock and Roll, Joan Jett. That's another one. You know, they'll know it. They dance to it, and being able to kind of read and anticipate that with your crowd makes a huge difference.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're right on. You know, another one. Both Danny and Sierra, again, power couple, helped make our wedding perfect, and even saved the day with a portable fan when things got a bit too warm at the reception. Definitely would recommend them over and over again. So you brought a fan? Was that coming?
Yeah, I mean, along with like her emergency bride pack, whatever. Like, I'll bring like extra stuff for like DJ stuff. Like, we'll have an extra fan or this or that, just in case if something was to happen, then we're able to kind of assist anybody. That day was super hot, and we had an extra fan. So I was like, hey, let's just plug this thing in and put it onto the bride and groom. So
That's awesome. So I don't know if you knew this, but Andrew is the resident fan guy at Ultimate Entertainment. He brings a fan to his weddings
I have
too.
a blower fan that I bring because those dance floors get hot.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because DJs play good music.
yep.
The right
There you go.
DJs do.
Yeah.
Right. And I tell you what, it is a game changer.
Oh, yeah.
You point that out to the crowd, to the bride who's been in her dress the whole day, and she's like, oh my gosh, this feels so good, and
There you go. Pro tip: bring a fan.
Oh, yeah.
bring fans.
It's a must-have. We've stopped at a place to get a fan because he accidentally forgot it.
Yep. Just thinking. But hey, that's all right then. Now we have multiple fans.
I think that's awesome. And then, the last one I was looking at, Danny and Sierra did an extraordinary job at our wedding. Sierra went above and beyond to help make sure things stayed organized. I would highly recommend her new event planning services as well. So it sounds like they booked you for the DJ and got you kind of as a bonus song with that. Is that kind of how that?
So for the DJ events, we usually both of us go, and then I'm there to help him, and then I help a little bit here and there as needed.
I think that's awesome. I think that I love it. I think that that's fantastic. And one of the questions I had is, overall, what can couples expect from you guys? But I think we've articulated that very, very well. Just talking about the heart of what you do and why you do it is so much more than just getting paid. You are there. What couples can expect if you hire Danny and Sarah is a couple that is there to make your day amazing. You're going to put them at the top of the list. This is not about you as the DJ because you got all the cool DJ stuff and we can talk on the microphone and we got all the blinky lights and all the fun stuff like that. Yep. It is about the couple and their day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I love it. I love it. So what's your favorite moment from a wedding or in a wedding?
My favorite moment, oh man, there's several of them, but the one that kind of always gets me like, hey, this can be a good night, is probably the first dance.
Yeah.
I mean, of course you have like the traditional first dance, but we've done some multicultural weddings as well, and seeing their traditional dances and their culture, it kind of sets the tone for me for the night because you see how the crowd reacts to those two dancing, and it's like, okay, well, this is kind of ease me up a little bit, and I'm going to get into my groove, and we're going to make this night good. So.
Right on. I love the first dance too.
Oh, yeah.
That's my favorite moment. I just, it's one of those pristine moments. You could have 500 or it could be 1,000 people there. It doesn't matter. But for that 3.5 minutes or however long that song is, it's just them.
Yep.
I love that. What do you think of the new trend, the last dance, like where they kick everybody out and it's just the couple? What do you think about that?
I mean, I like it in the sense that it's just a very intimate time for the bride and groom. But at the same time, I mean, it's nice to have a crowd watch you. I would not be opposed to it. I mean, if we had to do our wedding over, I'd kick everybody all out. I mean,
I think it's something that I would like a lot more than he would.
Do you think so?
I
And what do
love
you
it.
think about that? Because I've got an opinion on it too. And it's rule number one: what the bride wants, the bride gets. So my opinion matters not at all. But where do you fall on that? Last dance. Should they have the guests there, or should it be just them?
I think it's personal preference. If you wanted the dance just you two, kind of like hey, this is the end of the night, just an intimate moment like that, fantastic. I can see it the other way too, with all the friends and family who stuck around. It's like, hey, these are the people who are still here supporting you. No offense or ill wishes to those who left.
People left earlier, lame.
Yeah.
Should stay to the end. Stay to the end.
These are your real friends because they stayed, but it's kind of, I think it's kind of a good way to cap off the end of the night. As long as you know that, hey, this is going to be the final moment of what is hopefully a spectacular night.
Right.
I like it.
Yeah. I like it with the guests still there. Yeah. I'm all for clearing the dance floor.
Yep.
And giving them, it like Andrew said, you cap it. Their first dance, it's just them on the dance floor. The last dance, the guests can be there, but it's just them on the dance floor. And I look at, and especially Nicole as a professional photographer, I'm sure you like that moment because, you're able to capture that moment again, kind of at the end of the night because they are in a different state of mind. By the time they get to the end of the night, usually alcohol is involved with that state of mind. But they are in a different place than in the beginning where they're nervous and there's all the tension and stuff. By now they're they're married pros. They've been married like 5 years, 5 hours by then. Yep. So they're experts. But what do you think as a photographer? What do you like?
I personally really like being able to capture those moments, but that he was talking, and I'm just thinking it would be really cool if they had a group surrounding the dance floor.
Yeah.
Because then you can get the photo of the couple and you can also get the reactions of their guests while they're dancing without having to go out into the audience to try to capture those images.
Yeah. Kind of build it into a bigger moment, but still unique to them.
Right.
But you're still able to capture the guest reaction on top of that.
Yep.
When they get that big circle around them and they lock arms and
Yep.
sway back and forth.
Yep. Just like that.
Fantastic.
That is it. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it's a win. It's so cool. One of the things I love about weddings and receptions is there is a natural current of energy that's there. There's just that vibe of celebration that's there. And some couples, it may be down a little bit. You get some of those couples that they're just not big dancers. And something that I've always thought is kind of interesting is that if you take the wedding out of the equation for a second, what you actually have is two big family reunions. So in some cases, the families are just there to, reconnect and talk, and, they enjoy the music, and you'll get some dancers here and there, but maybe not a, crazy packed dance floor that, if you're a DJ, you love to see the big back dance floor. But there have been plenty of very successful weddings where not a lot of dancers, but they still have a great time because they have that reconnection. And I just, or you get that energy, that vibe that's way up here. And, and from that, like you said, from that first dance, from that first song, from that first go, you're like, oh yeah, it's going to be that night. And boom, it just doesn't matter what you play. They're dancing and it's going to be a huge party.
Oh yeah.
I love that. Okay, so final question to both of you. Danny, we'll start with you since you've got the mic in front of you. I ask everybody this, and I think this is an important question to answer is, let's say, there's a couple that, they've seen you, they've read your reviews, they were at a wedding that you did, they love you, they love everything about you, they love your heart, they love your music, they love your personality, they love everything, they want to book you, but you're booked. You can't do their wedding. You can't help. There's nothing you can do. What do you tell them to look for in another DJ?
Oh, this has been happening pretty often lately.
Which is a good sign. That means you're booked.
Oh, absolutely. It's almost like almost every hour on the hour type of thing.
That's
right
awesome.
Oh, yeah. I just kind of tell them, just kind of look at their packages, see where they're located, see what they're willing to do, and then just interact with them and see if they feel like that's somebody that you feel like you can work with and have flexibility within your schedule. Or I tell them, there's some DJs that are just stuck to a certain game plan. I was like, not to take anything away from those guys, but they're going to kind of control your day for you instead of you controlling your own day. So that's kind of why I tell them, is just kind of fill out the DJ, see what they have to offer, and kind of go from there.
Perfect. Love it. Sierra, same question. Let's move the mic. She I don't even have to tell her. I'll take the mic. Bam.
No, he's much better on the mic.
So someone really, really, really wants you. They can't have you. What should they look for in a wedding planner? Coordinator.
I think as a coordinator and planner, something that is super important is being organized, being on the ball. Communication is super important. Are they responding back to you in a timely manner? And do you feel like you can connect with them on a personal level?
Awesome. Absolutely. It's so true. Andrew, can we go back to the website real quick here? Yeah, let's bring that up. So, one of the other features that we've got built into the platform, if you are a registered user on the platform, so if you are registered here with us, you see these little icons up here. You've got one that will take you straight to the messaging system. It's going to tell me that I'm not logged in because I'm not, so I'm sorry. If you are looking on your phone, if you're looking mobile, click that. You can call them right from there. You can save them to your favorites if you want to go back to, or put them in kind of a queue. So if you're looking at a variety of DJs to choose from, you can kind of pare it down and then go back and make choices. Or you can send them a connection request. Now, there's no obligation on the connection request. What that does is it just notifies that particular vendor that you're interested in learning more about them in a direct manner without you having to call them, without you having to message them, without you having anything. It just sends a connection request, and then they can reach out and contact you. So if you are not someone that wants to make a whole bunch of phone calls or wants to send out a whole bunch of emails, hit that connection button and you can reach out to them from there. And if you look on the listings, if you go to the detailed view or if you go to the quick view, those options are available on all of the listings. So we're looking here at Danny's page, and again, the link back to his Facebook connection from there, and the website that Andrew built for Danny looks a little bit different than Sierra. So, you get a variety. Again, if you are a vendor, if you are in this business, not every listing is going to look like every other listing that's out there like you find at the Knot. We make it to you. We tailor it. Andrew, you explain it better. Yeah, that you tailor it to what the vendors are looking for. How do you find that with them?
You just kind of ask them, what are you looking for? Is there anything specific? Or believe it or not, most of the time I say, do you want anything specific, or should I just do my own thing? And most everyone's like, just do your own thing and we'll go from there. And so it's, all right, well, let's just see what I can cook up today. And more often than not, it's, oh my gosh, I love this. Or, just a few minor things like, hey, you spelled this wrong. Or, hey, can we change the color on this or add this, But
right.
I don't think there's ever been no, this is terrible, start over and try not to embarrass yourself this time.
So one of the things that we put in place for security for that is when you come on board, you'll likely talk to Nicole first. And one of the things that she does once you're approved is she creates a chat with all of us. So I'm in on it, Andrew's on it, you're on it, and of course the new vendor's on it. And why do we do that?
Because it's a good way to communicate.
Exactly. We want to have that communication with the vendors as well. That way we want to get your questions answered. We admit it, we're new. We don't have I think the Knot's been around for 12 years, 13 years. We don't have that reputation yet, but I personally have over 30 years experience in the wedding business. The vendors that are on this platform have the experience. They have the heart. They have the knowledge. Andrew is really good at what he does from the page design, and he's also in the business as well. He's part of Ultimate Entertainment. He's one of our lead trainers, one of our lead DJs. He is absolutely fantastic at what he does as well. So, you're working with people in the business. Nicole has got a very successful photography business on top of working with us at Our Stress Free. So you're not just working with someone who's, oh my God, let's get you let's on the platform and get your credit card number and get paid. No, that's not what we're doing. You are working with professionals to help make your make your listing as absolutely fantastic as we can. And take some time, look at the platform, go to the vendors page, and look at all of them. Just click through them, because each one is going to be a little bit different. Each one is unique to that vendor. It identifies, who you are that much more. And that's so much more than what the big national ones do. And it's something we're going to continue to build on. We're just getting started. You know, there's so much more we can offer. Next thing, too, coming up, don't forget, November 20th, Waterloo Convention Center at Sullivan Brothers Plaza. They are all new. They've done a multi-million-dollar upgrade. We talked about this last time. What episode was that? I think it's 4 or 5. Just scroll down on the podcast page, on OSF TV page at ourstressfreewedding.com, and you'll see Donna and Nora from from the show, from the Waterloo Convention Center. And man, some of the pictures are just gorgeous. You can see the pictures actually on their listing.
Yeah.
You know, all the recessed lighting and the effects, and it's opulent. It's incredible. The show is November 20th from noon to 3. We're looking at our goal of 60 to 80 different vendors from across the state of Iowa, not just everybody in Blackhawk County or just people around Waterloo, Cedar Falls. We want wedding professionals from around the state to give you the best possible options to make your day as absolutely as amazing as possible. And we're getting rid of the gosh, I hope they don't suck factor. We want you to be at ease as you're looking at these vendors, as you're talking with them, and you're going to know when you talk with them that their heart is in the right place, that they are looking to make your day as absolutely incredible as possible. That's what we do. That's what we focus on. Did I miss anything, guys? Did I miss anything from you guys? You guys want to throw anything else in?
I just want to thank you guys for letting us come up here and kind of chat with you guys. And I know there's a lot of like newer DJs that are watch the page and everything else, and I just want to tell them that just reach for the stars, because the worst that you guys can do is end up on the dance floor. So.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Absolutely. You guys have been a pleasure. It's been absolutely great having you here. We're so happy. We are so fortunate to have you on the platform. I know you are going to make couples days incredible. Well, and I know that even more now, because this is, full disclosure, this is the first time that we've talked.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? I mean, you guys talked to Nicole, but this is the first time that we've had a conversation. And I want people to know that, because this isn't a setup. This is not, hey, we practice this and he's going to say this, I know what he's going to say later. This is a very natural conversation.
Yeah.
So it really gives you a chance to see their heart and to see sincere answers in what they're looking for. And that's what we're trying to accomplish right here at OSF TV. See, I think I did a plug for the show.
It's very good.
I'm so proud of myself. Hey, thanks for watching. As always, Andrew, what should you do?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. We really, really would appreciate that. It has been an absolute pleasure. And as always, hey, you have a stress-free day.